Do you know that industry experts are super excited about the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy? This is because it's a job enabler, it creates millions of jobs, it would encourage food security and improve infrastructure and tourism development. Welcome to NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. I am Eugenia Abu.
Any vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board the following: vessel logbook, vessel port of call, vessel particulars, which include registry certificates, safety equipment certificates such as safe manning certificates, builder certificates, load line certificates, tonnage certificates, radio certificate, insurance certificates, classification certificates, passenger ship safety certificate, service certificate, cargo ship certificate, and waiver certificates or receipts. Vessel owners, captains, shipping agents, and members of the public are advised to note and comply.
When last did you check on some maritime information? Well, we are here to give you maritime facts, maritime nuggets, and of course, activities of the DG NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, in DG's diary. Don't go away.
The Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, OFR, this week led NIMASA management in a meeting with a delegation from the Gambian Maritime Administration at the NIMASA Towers in Victoria Island. The Gambian team are in Nigeria to understudy the agency's operation. Dr. Jamu expressed the agency's desire to share knowledge, adding that most countries in the region have constantly visited the agency for the same reason. On his part, the Director General of the Gambian Maritime Administration, Mr. Karamo Bakari Jani, noted that they are in Nigeria to understudy NIMASA, particularly the ship registry, describing NIMASA as a big brother. The DG NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, led the agency's management to hand over the ultra-modern complex housing the Institute of Marine and Transport Technology to the management of the University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. According to Jamu, the building, which is a donation from NIMASA to the university, was the initiative of the previous leadership of the agency, but on assumption as the DG, he saw the need to review and commence the project.
I want to say very big thank you, because without existence of the focus and thinking of the University of Port Harcourt, we will not be able to realize this noble objective. I don't want to believe this is the first and the last, or this is the beginning and end. We will continue to improve on that structure. That's not my standard. I have looked at the building. It's okay for us to continue to use it, but year in, year out, will provide something in as much as if I'm around to improve on that structure before thinking on what again we are going to provide to the university. So I thank you so very much, and I would like to congratulate
the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Abraham Georgewill, who was represented by the Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Clifford Ofurum, thanked NIMASA for selecting Uniport as the location for the Maritime Institute, assuring that the university will provide adequate faculty to ensure courses are accredited and recognized globally.
Very honest with you, NIMASA has done investor Port Harcourt. It's done us well. It's done us well, and anywhere we go, we stand out to say that. Now, finally, on your request, sir. So the request you made to us is just like also adding to us. You want us to convert a center to an institute. It is in our interest to do what you have asked us to do. I mean, when we do that, we're not doing you a favor. Not that we are doing ourselves a favor. by converting a center to an institute. Because we know the implication of converting a center to an institute, because an institute will have different centers around it. So I can assure you that this is something that is within the ambit of the University of Port Harcourt Senate. And as soon as it's possible, we will take this matter to Senate and we will get it done with the paperwork. So
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has inaugurated an 8-member team as the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, in line with the federal government's anti-corruption and transparency goals. The ceremony was supervised by the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, Lagos, Mr. Kabir Elelu. Speaking at the ceremony, the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, OFR, who was represented by the agency's Director Internal Audit, Mrs. Olamide Odusanya, emphasized the need to develop systems that entrench peace, access to justice, and encourage the establishment of strong institutions in the country.
The National Assembly, through the ICPC Act, empower the Commission to entrench an anti-corruption and transparency units in every MDA in Nigeria. The unit is mandated to provide oversight, investigate wrongdoing, and recommend policies to combat corruption in all its forms. Every Nigerian is aware that corruption has long plagued our society, eroding public trust, hampering development, and denying justice. We have seen how corruption can infect all levels of government. It is a scourge we must all confront aggressively, especially during this tough economic period for our nation.
On his part, the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, ICPC Lagos, Mr. Kabir Elelu, Esquire, described the institution of ACTU as a collaborative and admirable method of involving citizens in the fight against corruption.
The joint method of involving citizens in prevention and combat of corruption is admirable. It demonstrates a deep understanding that personnel within organizations are best placed to recognize and address corrupt concerns. The main reason for the establishment of ACT in federal MDAs is to facilitate and complement the efforts of the ICPC in promoting high moral standards, work ethics, and values needed to achieve organizational goals.
According to him, ACTU's influence over the past 22 years has been visible in the positive changes it has brought about, including identifying corrupt-prone practices and conducting investigations that resulted in recommendations for disciplinary punishments. The Commission is not unaware of the challenges that ACTU members face, such as being viewed as spies and being underfunded. I am glad to inform you that the ICPC is actively addressing these concerns through methods such as desk officer development and the establishment of ACTU Effectiveness Index. To be relevant and successful, ACTU must commit to continuous training and constant relationship with the Commission, not only through the desk officer, but also through the head of the state offices, Elelu said. Meanwhile, the NIMASA ACTU chairperson, Aisha Idris Yakubu, said that the occasion marked a significant milestone for the agency.
ACTU NIMASA, who have just been inaugurated, I wish to express our profound appreciation to the ICPC team, the executive management of NIMASA, and the staff of the agency for your presence here today.
Do solemnly affirm that as a member of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Monitoring Unit,
International Transport Workers Federation, UK, has approved a grant to Nigeria through the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MAWUN, to build a seafarers recreation center in partnership with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. The head ITF Seafarers Trust Fund, Katie Higginbottom, who announced this during a meeting with the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, in Lagos, noted that the grant was approved after a thorough assessment of Nigeria's suitability. The Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, appreciated the ITF for trusting Nigeria with direct foreign fund investment in the country, with an assurance that it will be judiciously utilized and the ministry will ensure NIMASA fulfills her own obligations to the project. The ITF team had met with MAWUN and NIMASA officials just before meeting with the Honorable Minister. This is Katie Higginbottom.
So we're really glad that we were able to do this, and this is definitely down to the reputation of the union and its importance within the ITF family. So, as we said, we made this commitment for a large sum of money, but it needs to be matched by other stakeholders. That's not just because we don't have the money, but it's also because we feel like it's incredibly important for all the stakeholders to have a stake in the running, in the responsibility for the welfare of the seafarers. We're far away from this. We're back in London, in Lucas Case, back in Italy, but we do our best for the welfare and well-being of seafarers, but we're mindful that it's you on the ground that make the material difference in every case.
For me, Nigeria is a key country. Nigeria must lead Africa in every domain. I say that 4 years ago at the air traffic controllers meeting everywhere, because it's the strongest country in Africa. We need to have leaders at the worldwide level. I hope, and it is our wish, Maritime Union Workers of Nigeria will lead Africa in the coming months. Because we have the strength.
Now that we know that also NIMASA will be on board with matching funds, I have to say that that's really satisfying, because we've been working on this project for a number of months, if not years. And as Katie said, I'm the one asking the difficult questions. So this is my first time to Nigeria, and it's been really wonderful. So I really hope that to come back soon to open, hopefully, this new center where we can meet many seafarers and workers can show solidarity to each other. So I'm really, really happy. Thank you for the hospitality.
On his part, the DG NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamu, restated the commitment of the agency, under the supervision of the ministry, to continuously invest in the well-being of seafarers.
Seafarers come from all over the world. There's nowhere to go and unwind. Even if they have, the security is questionable. So it is our duty to provide a secured, a serene, and very peaceful environment that everybody will be proud of. And a standard one, that the international community will not afraid to be there and enjoy and have the benefit. That is why ITF is here. What they are talking is standard. Provide a standard that a British man can come and go there and relax, that he can be proud of, that he can make sure that, yes, his own properties, life is secured. So in doing so, we are doing so much to the country, we are doing so much to the world. And I want to assure you, you will not find us wanting in this particular aspect.
The Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MAWUN, midwifed the acquisition of the grant from the ITF. Comrade Adewale Adeyanju is the President General. He noted that the quest to better the lot of seafarers informed their decision to seek funding from the United Kingdom-based ITF.
We celebrated Dock Workers Day in Nigeria about 2 months ago. He was the one that organized it for the first time in Nigeria. And this project is a project that I think belongs to me, because it's a dream. 3 years ago I met with you. in your office together with my executives. You are equally arranging a very place for seafarers, where you have the Christians and clock crew and well, they can change their uniform and all the street. And when this good news came, I said, well, I need to share it with you, sir.
This is NIMASA This Week. Thank you for staying with us. More features after the break.
Members of the House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration were in Lagos for an interactive session. Led by the Deputy Chairman of the committee, Honorable Uduak Odudo, members listened with rapt attention to presentations by Jean Chiazo SAN and NIMASA DG Dr. Bashir Jamu.
We are on it. Already, the United Nations developed the African Blue Economy Policy. All we need to do is to look at that policy, domesticate it to have a localized recognition in our own country, and then we move ahead. So that's what we're doing. I have a developed one even now. I move around with it anywhere I go because it's something that I'm very passionate about. My dream is to see that we don't have to look for where the money that is going to come from the blue economy is enough for the
Matchmaking Act that we have domesticated clause. There are relevant and good provisions that talk about where there is pollution in our seas by oil, the oil pollution, and litter, and even bags to water. So the UNCLOS has actually made a holistic provision for the protection of our environment.
This kind of bill, can pass within a day, because the only thing that was stopped that it was not assented to, is every legal reason had been done. So let me join to assure you that when we go back, we'll do the needful.
I'm not seeing Dr. Jamu in this form before, but I want to say that I'm impressed, and I just hope that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will renew your engagement for another time. Because you have shown and proved that you are an industry person and that you actually understand the industry.
At the end of the session, the media engaged both the Deputy Chairman of the committee and the NIMASA boss.
Let me commend the DG. NIMASA, in short, in summary, he has proven to Nigerians that is a compendium of blue economies. And we didn't know that the blue economy, most of us didn't know that blue economy, the conception of blue economy started far back in 2018. His presentation was supposed to be 30 minutes. But it took us for more than almost 1 hour, and nobody was born. He thrilled the whole audience. And so we commend him because the vision, the main vision, core mandate of the DG is to interpret the vision and the mandate of the agency. And like recently, when the agency launched a service charter, I was privileged to be there. And what was the theme? To redefine, service redefine. And so the DG has done well. But if the agency succeeds today, like I keep saying, the head of the agency, in this case, who is the DG, will take the accolades.
It's about insecurity as the major challenge of the maritime sector when you were speaking. I'd like to know the ways or the measures you are hoping to deal with this insecurity issue.
We have already dealt with that. I've given you the statistical analysis. All we need to do is to sustain the tempo. Because issues of insecurity is not something that you get to a certain level and go to sleep and say all is well. No, you have to continue to evaluate the success recorded and look at the threats that are coming in, and then you continue to deal with it. So that's what we are doing now. We have reached a milestone that not only in Nigeria, internationally, we are recognized and appreciated.
Next week on NIMASA This Week, NIMASA DG emerges Maritime Man of the Year 2023.
We at IMO are very proud to have collaborated with Dr. Jamal. He's an excellent representative of your country.
International Maritime Organization. We have worked very closely with NIMASA, with Dr. Jamal. We want to congratulate him on his award today, but also for the good cooperation that all the British industry has had over these last few years with NIMASA. We really congratulate you on that partnership.
I want to thank you on behalf of the Maritime Workers of Nigeria. We are proud of you.
So awesome that at times he forgets to look after his own self. He carries the burden of other people.
The NIMASA Act and Conditions of Service is clear on who the accounting officer is. In the past 4 years, there has been a gentleman called Dr. Bashir Jamal.
We continue to keep you as our own. Whatever you find yourself on behalf of Nigeria, don't look forward to seeing you. Congratulations.
So let's spell Jamal together. Somebody give me a J. Give me the A. Give me another A. Give me the O. And the H. And together we say Jamal.
NIMASA Management at the Management Performance Review.
Bridge are we going to So he asked him, how many bridges are there? He said, I can see 3 bridges. Today we must provide presidency with our performance scorecard. And you have to be there.
Introducing the NIMASA Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and NIMASA will respond.
What are you anchored on this week? I'm anchored on knowledge. I'm learning more and more about the blue economy. I urge you to jump on the knowledge boat and learn something new this week. And that's it on NIMASA This Week. Every good thing must come to an end. But we'll see you next week. On behalf of the entire team behind the scene, I am Eugenia Abu. Thank you for joining us.